there before they close up shop.
Right. Hey, ma'am.
Hello, how are you? So the last time I saw the ambassadors near the org, I was at the door first thing. So I repeated a few things while they were there on purpose. Now there is one of the ambassadors I saw that stopped and talked to me one day, and he didn't have a very good opinion of Scientology. The problem is, it's not a problem, but I mean, the thing is, you know, when you meet somebody in Scientology, they're really nice, you know. A lot of them didn't choose to be in that cult. Their parents put them in. And they think just because somebody is kind to you to your face, or, you know, personable, that, oh, there could be nothing untoward going inside. Well, I mean, let's go back. I mean, let's go. Everybody always wants to bring up the Catholic Church. You know, those people, well, they covered it up, so they were complicit. But, oh, they got a body rider outside, I think. She may not realize who I am. I'm not going to stare at her. So. Nope, she ran in. They actually had somebody outside. We're not closing up yet, though. If she didn't see me. Delphi Academy lawsuit. It'll be the first thing on Google. They protected a child predator, didn't send him to the police, and he attacked many children. Look it up. So, where do I want to park myself? Let's sit here. No, it's too far from the door. Give me just a second, guys. I brought my chair today and a blanket. See? Because it's chilly. Can't not believe last week it was in the 80s. This place, I swear. Alright, let's put me here. And I'll put my chair right here. Alright, who's here? Hey, Scooter Mom! Irish-Mart! Hey! We are protesting today. Hey, Lexianne. 2 seconds. I know, right? That is pretty fast. No, I felt like it's too cold. Yeah, I know. I know. Geez, guys. I brought my coat. I got my chair. I got my blanket. Under there's my cooler. Then I have an extra bag of paraphernalia, just extra crap with the pants. And then my backpack that has most of my electronics and stuff in it. And then my tripod, my cane, and my trusty sign. This thing is heavy. All right, I'm going to be look away for a minute while I get this tripod set up. Alrighty. Alrighty. Well, they saw me doing that and practically ran right into my stuff. Alright. That's okay. I see kitchen sink in the bottom. That's all I need. That's all I'm missing. Oh, and Tom did get me the net I wanted. Or he had one, but I forgot to grab it. Alright, let's get the sign set up. Yep, I'm getting my hair out today. It is windy and chilly. I haven't got this thing out in ages. I stopped bringing it for a little while. It's heavy. Hey, what's up? Let me just take this down first. Shaking again. We'll start there and see where we need to put it later. Alright. This thing is so difficult. I used to bring a towel. Okay, that gets kind of triangly. I usually do this upside down, but I didn't want to. Come on, you. It's the wind that's getting me today. Okay, almost there. Oh, there's parking there. It's just parked. That's the thing about people can't see me from the street. Might have to get my big coat out. Oh! Woo! I just got this on my phone. Ow! Alrighty. I'll just stay like this. Hi! Ugh. Oh, we're gonna have to bring that down. Shaking again, adjusting. Look away. Look away! Look away. Let's go here. Good, that's straight. We're good. A little bit more. So I don't have to look up at the chat. Yes. The Sea Org has to sign a billionaire contract and work till they die.
No. There's aliens, huh?
A lot of them don't even know that story. You have to pay to find that out.
What's the documentary?
Oh, okay, you know. Oh, which side do I want up? Not that it matters. This was a $5 thrift store blanket. My husband there's this thrift store he loves because he gets tools there and stuff. They buy storage spaces. And he went in there and bought like 4 blankets one day for the cars. Because it was winter time, and I'm like, or dog blanket. Because we always keep a blanket at the foot of the bed that the dogs lay on and not on our comforter. And we can change that out as... So we have a lot of blankets. Like, just fleece material. Okay. Oh, Tom's here too? Yeah, he's off today. He was awake when I left. I thought he was going to fall back to sleep. So, did you see me set up, Tom? So, Cher said, I was showing him everything in my cart. Hey, you guys. That's what he's saying when he says that. He loves Goonies. Yeah, so there's a bike lane right here, and then it's parallel parking. So that's why Tom's making me such a tall sign. Because, well, normally this is completely full, and nobody can see me from the street. That's why when I want to talk to cars, I go all the way to the corner. So he's making me a sign that's tall enough that they'll see it over those cars. Hey, Susan and Ruth, hello. Oh, thanks. From Canada, more people from Canada. Can't complain about the cold when I got Canadians in here. Thank you, Susan. That's nice. Hey, Kelly. What's up? You need to print up some cards. I am. I need to. I actually have business cards from years ago that I printed onto. Right now, my printer, I cannot get my printer hooked to my new computer. And Chris has my old computer. So, I'm going to figure that out. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Hey, Victor. Yeah, I know, Victor. Tell him. Yeah, because the person that did do that before didn't use them correctly and didn't publish them correctly and probably could have made more money than that, for sure. Yeah, come out here.
I stood in front of the car for 20 minutes because somebody was behind him. They couldn't back up.
Yeah, it's a little bit windy today. Oh, you got a gifted membership. Did that happen just now? Did I miss it? Or did you get that before? Hello, dear. Okay. That's cool. Okay. I still could be a little bit shorter, but that'll do. Oh, I like this. Woohoo! I feel warm. Tom thought last time I came when it was cold that it was better if I stand up because it keeps the blood flowing. I disagree. Although to be honest, my legs and my arms are okay. It's really just, I brought my gloves, they're in there somewhere. But it was 45, a little less than that, you know, that feels like when I left. He said it's supposed to get to like 54, but it's cloudy and it's breezy. So that's the, if it wasn't breezy, I'd be good. I disagree. I do too. I do too. Oh, I got it. I forgot to put the sanitizer. So yeah, when I sat on my phone, this was sitting on top of it. That's what goosed me. It's like, oh, the phone wouldn't have been so bad by itself. Yeah, I told you guys I live with sanitizers, so I bought this really pretty one that matches my phone. Hey, Mock T, what's up? Or Sophia. Yeah, I tried really hard. I heard Aaron saying your name, and I was like, I need to learn how to do that. But I haven't yet. I'm exactly sure when. Okay, we had a couple times here recently. That's cool. Yeah, they said that you can get it when you're not even here. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna do a members only stream here soon. I haven't been doing that, and I need to. I went through the. I didn't realize how many members I had. Oh no! Hey, Lori Marie, how are you? How are you? Well, my goal was to get here and be set up by 2:30 and leave before 5 because of the traffic, but I had to slow down and got here late. So, if I'm going to be here close to 5, I might as well stay through 5 because if some of you haven't been here at 5, the main entrance from the university is this light right beside me, and hundreds of students come through at 5 o'clock because they're out for the day. You do know that there's thermal tights and lamb wool inlay soles. Yeah, the thing is I've tried to shop for them. Buying clothes online is so hard. I tried to go buy their sizing chart, and I bought sweatpants. I had to buy 3 pairs of sweatpants before I got a pair that fit right. So I wanted those tights that, yeah, were lined tights. I really wanted those. I'm in my sweats today, so I'm good. Yeah, I want those bad. Well, I'll be honest. The few cold days that we have in Texas, we don't really invest. I don't really invest in that kind of stuff. Now, my husband, who is outside all night long, does. He has all that stuff. Matter of fact, the boss called him in the middle of the night from her house because a fire alarm was going off. This was a while back, and it was like the first time we got really cold, and he had to go over there and find out what was wrong. We figured out, or she smelled, it wasn't the alarm. She smelled something. He figured, so he's in there all in this cold weather gear, and he can't take it off. It's all underneath. Climbing through her crawl space upstairs in the attic and about to die. He's like, oh my gosh, I've got to get out of here. They figured out, you know when you first turn your heater on first time during the year and it smells funny? That's probably what it was. So he tries really hard to not go inside anywhere. Yeah, burnt dust. Yeah. Ours does the same thing. I didn't bring hot coffee. It didn't even dawn on me. I brought my cold brew. So I almost stopped at the coffee place to get something hot, but I'll be all right. It's only a couple hours. We'll just do this. Only my butt's cold because there's no blanket under there. It's okay. I'll grab my gloves. Because really, only my nose and my ears a little and my hands. Hey, Susie, what's up? How are you doing? We may be traveling through Texas sooner than I thought. We found a perfect place in Kingman, Arizona. So hopefully things will start happening pretty fast now for a big... You're moving permanently? Oh, wow. Cool. Well, if you're going to be able to stop, let me know. Because you probably won't be able to. Because to go through Texas, you either have to go up through Dallas or down through San Antonio. There's no real through east-west where I'm at. We have the throughway north-south. Because literally the highway I live near is only there because the base is there. So it literally right after the base ends into a regular road. So nobody's ever on it unless you're coming to the base. Those tights kept me warm by windy North Sea. Wow, wearing a kilt and they don't overheat you. I'm going to look into that because we've had more cold days this year than we ever have before. You know, I won't even say that. Because before, I didn't spend time outside. So I can't even say that. I felt more cold days. Hectic day at work. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that's why I like them, too. Hang out, chat. Let me grab my gloves. Oh, and I have my scarf for my ears. Let's try that. Let's do that first. Man, this wind. If I cared, I would go sit by the side of the building, but I'm not here that long to worry about it. Let's do this. That's better. Because I have this sweat jacket that has a furry inside. Some dude was reading the so I guess you can put that up just regardless. So I've looked at it a million times. SPTVfoundation.org. Give it a check out. It's ex-members. Somebody just went in. Will my hat still fit? Maybe. Gloves. There we go. Yeah, I forgot to grab that net Tom gave me. There we go. Now I feel better. Actually, let's take this off. Forgot about my hood. There we go.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah.
Let me zip up my sweat jacket a little bit. Yeah, I was gonna put a sweatshirt on, but I was like, I didn't know how cold it was gonna be down here, and I was like, I didn't want to get overly hot when it warmed up. I think I could have worn it, so I decided to layer instead. That's better. Now where the gloves go? I am well aware. Yeah, okay, yeah, worked in Texas. Oh, okay, yeah, grew up in Houston. Lived in Austin. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. I-10 and stay in Austin a couple nights. It was 43 when I left my house. He said it was going to get to 54 by 4 o'clock or so. And it's usually a degree or so warmer in Austin because it's 75 miles south. So. Well, if you want, I will give you, if you email me, Kelly, if you want. I mean, I understand when you want to visit family and stuff, but if you want to come down here or just meet and have lunch or dinner or something, email me and I'll give you my phone number. Yeah. I think there was somebody that came down recently I think I missed. So, yeah, I just got my sign up today. I'm not going to worry about the... Oh my gosh, it does not have phone. He just came out of the orb. That's some thin stuff there. I'm going to keep it on the door. I've seen a couple people go in and out. It's 3. And they were public. So, what is today? Wednesday? So, I've seen quite a few public. About 3. Him come out and 2 go in. The first one, no, the first one wasn't public. He was wearing a suit, black suit. I think he was a staff or something. He was older though. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get somebody to stop and ask me questions. Somebody, because some of you aren't always here. Somebody was in a chat somewhere. He was, oh, missed him. Ooh, that was quick. He was quick. I don't have my good peripheral vision because of his hood. Got me. Yeah, he's one of the ones I always see though. So I leave them alone. They've heard what I had to say. The most they'll get out of me is yelling the foundations at them and, hi, how are you? Anymore. Because I want to prove we're not evil people that they think we are. Because there's this girl down where I do my pit stop, and we talked a lot before I came on. And because she knows a lot, she's listened to me a few times, and she's just real, because she sees them come in and get food. I'm like, yeah. I go, the thing is, they're really nice people. I said, but they're victims too. Their parents put them in this crap most of the time. I will get a hold of you. Okay, cool. Oh, I see. It's too bad. We have a snowstorm coming. Ooh. Rub it in, Kelly, rub it in. My husband was born there. He doesn't remember it, though. He was 2 when they moved. He was born in Orange Park, and they lived in Jacksonville. It was like the 70s, early 70s. So he doesn't remember it, but his sisters and brothers do, because they were older. They moved from Florida to Ohio. Oh. Okay, cool. That'll be interesting. You know, that's what I'm here for. We listen to y'all's stories. I learn a lot from that. You know, because I can reiterate some of those stories to people that are asking questions, especially the one with Laura. Yeah. And that phone call with her dad. That is one of the biggest things I use. That you're not my daughter, and I'm not really your father. You were probably an 80-year-old man in your last life. I'm like,
double meat and
wow, wow, wow. That one just. That really epitomizes all of it. Really, just that one sentence, 2 sentences. That it's not interested in, that they have no interest in uplifting families at all, or children. And I'm happy for that in some way, because of that fact that they don't have any more kids or grandkids to bring into Scientology, because the Sea Org's the most dedicated. They stopped letting them have kids. And I'm telling you right now, there's probably a lot of public that don't want their kids in Scientology. There are those that do, but then there are those that are like, no, absolutely not. Is there anybody in here new to the channel that popped in that has any questions? I didn't go vertical today. I did it too many times last week. Now I know what I did wrong. I have to make sure that my phone itself is horizontal before I hit live. And I wasn't thinking about that. Because when you're getting everything ready, you're vertical. And then you just hit the live button and don't think about it. So now I know I was very careful this time. Yes, I know. I'm only supposed to do it once a week. And I had already done that. Yeah, I don't like it either. But I don't complain at any of the streamers that want to do it. Because I got 4 new subscribers last week, I think. And new people that had never heard about Scientology. Even if I get one person that wants to ask me questions on the vertical, that's one new set of eyeballs on the situation. But that's not the only thing I'm here for, so I don't have to do that every day. Let's do some people watching. I'm gonna move the tripod a little bit over to my side. Look how close I am to their sign, y'all. Look. I'm actually blocking it from this side. Let's do that. Get a little bit of the door. Yeah, I watched a couple things this morning. No. My daughter got me into the Chiefs a year or so ago. She knew. Okay, so this girl would not watch football with me. I'm the football watcher. But I haven't watched the NFL in a long time. And I pretty much stick with my college team. And then all of a sudden 2 years ago, she got into the Chiefs. And then last year, we watched a couple games through. We would sit and watch it at the same time and have our phones on Messenger video so we could talk to each other. So I said, halfway through the game, I'm like, I think I backed the wrong horse here. That is they put a little baggie together of their upcoming schedule, like when they do open mic night, and they'll put a pen in it, hoping students will take it. And other things like their frequently asked questions pamphlet. I grabbed it a long time ago when they first started, and I went through it. And just little doodads, pamphlets and stuff. Yeah, propaganda. Yeah. I honestly, so I don't have anything against rap music at all. Well, I don't listen to most of it. I do have some I do. If it has a really cool beat or something to it. But my thing about the halftime show, that was boring. It wasn't just that the kind of music it was. It was just, did you see how when they had the camera like above the stage, how big the stage was and how little they took up of it? And the dancing was so easy. I don't know if y'all knew this. Serena Williams was one of the dancers. She's the tennis player. I saw that later. Okay, cool. I'm not. Hey, Mr. Fraud. What's up? So I was talking about the halftime show. And I'm like, I kept waiting. Well, when's the really spectacular show gonna happen? Where's the dancing and the, I don't know, pyrotechnics or lights or something? And nothing ever happened. I'm like, holy crap. I have seen Super Bowl shows that the whole field was covered with dancers. So I don't understand. I just don't understand. When I saw the YouTube halftime show and people, I looked at the comments. I want to see, did anybody agree with me? And a few people did, but most of them, oh, this was so great. Oh, he was, I think the biggest I guess he was dissing another rapper during his song, and that was what drew people's attention. Is what it was the worst halftime show I've ever seen. I know. I don't care if I like the music or not, but have a good show. It's the freaking Super Bowl. You're probably given unlimited funds. I mean, I remember Lady Gaga coming down on a wire and wearing sparkles. I'll be honest, I think most of the women, but they've done hip hop before. But they brought in 2 or 3 different artists. They were dancing. They had dancers. They had lights. You know, that's what you expect from a halftime show. And I couldn't understand what he was saying. Because I had actually went, and when I found out who was going to be there, I went and I looked at a couple of his music videos. And I was like, okay, these aren't very exciting, so maybe he's going to do something bigger. You know, it's the Super Bowl. I was hugely disappointed. The only thing I can think is they said it was by Apple Music. And so Apple Music may have picked the artist, and they may have maybe they picked him because he was maybe the most streamed or something on Apple Music. Tough call between Kendrick and The Weeknd. Oh, what's going on with The Weeknd? Were they deciding between them two to be the show or what? I think The Weeknd would have done better. I was just disappointed. Because what really, really drove it home was when they showed the stage from above and showed how long it was and how few dancers were on the stage. Hey, Yadira, how are you? Oh, I didn't see last year, The Weeknd. Oh. Wow, 2 in a row. I thought I watched. No, I think I missed last year. Even though the Chiefs played, I think. Because my daughter.
No, I haven't seen that.
My glove just did something very weird. I felt it
There's some good
give.
things about the building.
And it just. Can you see that? The material just kind of frayed. For no reason. That was weird. Oh, it started at a seam. Oh well. I only wear these like 6 times a year, so no big deal. Oh, okay. So they did 2 in a row. I still don't get the entire concept of a halftime show during a sports game. It goes back to high school football. In high school football, the band gives a halftime show. It's to, entertain people while the players get a rest and recuperate. And yeah, so are the marching bands. That's a big American thing too. So I know, being an Ohio State fan, if you guys have never seen, go on YouTube and look up Ohio State band halftime show. It's amazing. They are one of the best bands in the country. I mean, they did this one that was popular movies, and they literally, the people made this dinosaur outline that walked. I mean, it's really good. That's kind of, I think, where it started. So because the NFL doesn't have their own marching bands, they started having, singers and artists come on and do the halftime show. That's a good thing to research. I love researching questions. I'm going to do it right now. Like, if at home, I'm constantly looking stuff up on. Tom hates it. We'll be watching a movie, and I'll have a question about something in the movie, and I'll go Google that crap. Oh yeah, with the movies, yeah. Halftime, I think, is 30 minutes usually. Now in NFL, I don't know if it's longer than that, and I don't know if it's shorter during. Let me find out. How long is halftime? Okay, it says college. College is 20 minutes. Okay, college is 20 minutes. And usually what they do is the home team comes out for a few minutes, and then I think the opposing team gets to come on too. I'm not positive on that. All right, let's see if NFL is different. NFL. What? Halftime in the regular season is 13 minutes. But it's longer than that with commercials and stuff. Intermission between second and third quarters is 13 to the new rule book. Is the halftime show 30? No, it's between 12 and 15 minutes right in the middle. Okay, now my next question is, when did they start having a halftime show? When did the NFL start having halftime show? During most of the Super Bowl's first decade, starting 1967, the halftime show featured a college marching band. See, there you go. The show's second decade featured a more varied show, often featuring drill teams and other performance ensembles. The group Up With People produced and starred in 4 of the performances. This is Wikipedia list of... So who was the first big performance? The NFL does not pay the halftime show performance an appearance fee, though it covers all expenses for the performers and their entourage of band members, management, technical crew, security personnel, family, and friends. The Super Bowl halftime with Michael Jackson provided an exception as NFL and Frito-Lay agreed to make a donation and provide commercial time for Jackson's Heal the World Foundation. Okay, let's see what y'all are saying. Middle of the field? Pretty much, yeah. But like when you have a marching band, they take the whole field with whatever they have to do. In high school, they have a drill team, also known as dancing. Yes, that put a good show. I was on ours, and there were almost 90 of us. Wow. Yeah, I like those. I expect with the flags and dancing. I love that. They tried the halftime show thing during the UEFA Champions League finale. It kind of didn't impress European soccer fans. Cheerleaders don't always dance, but can. This is my opinion. I don't know that for sure. You'll probably answer me different. But they're more doing the cheers. Drill team is usually with the marching band. So the drill team is with the sport. And they help excite the fans during the game. Drill teams with the marching band dance and work with the marching band. It's from what I understand. It's essentially a short concert. Yes. Yeah, dance routine and a long line a lot while the cheerleaders took a break. Yeah, the rugby matches we have here at halftime, we have the youngsters out playing mini rugby. Oh, that's so cool. I want to know who the first real big star was. Let's see. First big performer at halftime. When? Starting in the 1990s to counter other networks' efforts to counter-program the game, the show was headlined by popular music acts each year who performed at the first ever Super Bowl. Members of the University of Arizona Marching Band. Okay, this isn't answering my question. Big performance at the halftime show, NFL. Oh, you guys have started a monster here with me having my extra phone. The first celebrity performance at halftime Super Bowl show in 1970 included Margarita Piazza, Doc Severinsen, Al Hirt, Lionel Hampton, and the Southern University Marching Band. But they did it with a marching band. Alright. Cool. Good to know. The band played a song for us off to the side of the field. We did a lot of high kicks and basically we're entertainment, but in Texas it's very serious. Oh, well, it is too with our college team with the Ohio State Buckeyes. So my sister, who's 9 years younger than me, was in the marching band for her school. So we would go to the games just to watch her. And for some reason, I don't know if we were at like a playoff game, but the Ohio State Buckeyes showed up to perform during a high school thing. And while they're marching into the field, somebody's keeping a beat. And this is what I heard them say. I can't remember all of it. So they said, "We are the Buckeyes. We're the Killer Nuts. We are the Buckeyes." And some, I can't remember the rest. I laughed. So I was standing down there going to get a drink, and I laughed my butt off. 24 was Usher. 23 was Rihanna. Dre, Snoop, Eminem was The Weeknd. Now I thought the when you have a group effort, I think that's a whole lot better. And I think Usher brought some people in too. I don't remember Rihanna very much. I may have missed that one. Even if I miss Super Bowl, I usually go watch whatever the performance is. But 21 was The Weeknd. I think I missed The Weeknd completely. Or it just didn't stick in my brain. Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember she was pregnant, yeah. But I mean, she still dressed up, and didn't she still have dancers and stuff? I mean, still, I think it was a lot better. But I remember like Madonna did it and came in this big float or something, and lights, and that's really what we expect. I imagine it can be very confusing. We did get invited to perform at the Astrodome for the NFL professional teams, Houston Oilers and Denver Broncos. Oh wow, yeah, I've heard that happen quite a bit. But yeah, also in Texas, football, American football, in high school, not college, not professional, high school is like, oh, I know, Prince was awesome. I love Prince. I know, Prince did an awesome job. That was pretty good. So, in Texas, high school football is so competitive and so all-encompassing that they, starting way back, like 60s, 70s, way back, they would literally, like alumni, donors, because, we had a lot of oil money in Texas. They would literally pay families to move their kid to their district so they could have better players. I think it was highly illegal. They did it anyway. So it's very competitive in high school.
I'm drowning in Texans. I can't seem to find anyone from anywhere else.
Very competitive.
You must be dying. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, very illegal. Very illegal. Hey, Bridge. We're talking about the halftime show and how competitive high school football is in Texas. I'm not getting anybody stopped yet, but I'm hoping they do. But yeah, I read a book by, I think, Michael Mishner. He does these books where he'll do historical on a state. Okay, like one of the ones I read is Montana or something. It went all the way back to the Jurassic period because they found a bone in Montana. And he does the whole history, but the characters are fictional. Well, he wrote one about Texas that I read years and years ago. That sucker was so thick. So thick. I actually learned all my Texas history from that book. And that's where I learned about the high school football. And that's where I learned why we beat Santa Anna in the Mexican-American War. Which was interesting. Hey, Hitzel. Oh, TCU. That's cool. Then you know. I know. I honestly thought with it being in the 80s last week, we weren't going to get cold again. This is not cold for most people. Us, it gets in the 40s and we're crying. Hey, Cricket. How are you? Yeah, we're talking about how competitive high school football is in Texas compared to college and the NFL. It's almost more so. And being from Ohio, it was really hard to support two NFL teams in such a small state. When, honestly, the big thing in Ohio is our Ohio State Buckeyes. When, about 10 years ago, 10 years before he retired, when he was I wanted to go home. I was done. I didn't want to do the Army anymore. I wanted him to get out. So I started looking on Remax at houses. Well, I did that again, too, when he retired. We thought we might move. And I kid you not, every house in Ohio, period, and every house I looked at on like Remax.com has a Buckeye room. You have a spare bedroom or something where it's all Ohio State Buckeyes, every single one. So that's why I was really surprised when they brought the Browns back, because it's really hard to support the Buckeyes like everybody does, and then have the Bengals and the Browns. Yeah, it's a little bit chilly here, Jennifer. That's why I brought my chair and a blanket. It's not as cold as everywhere else, but the wind is getting me. Like, I don't have a thick jacket on. It's just a little bit my nose. So I hope people stop. I noticed before they tend to not stop as much when it's cold. They're in a hurry. Like, oh my gosh. Did you see that mess? Who is wearing shorts today? Crazy. Crazy people. But gang's all here for being early. This is usually the late night gang. That's okay. Oh, I was watching, was that yesterday that DOA got swatted again? Yeah, I thought for sure he was getting arrested. I'm like, why did they, I don't know. Why do they still have to bring 20 officers to that, even if you don't know who it is? If it's on L. Ron Hubbard Boulevard, they should know by now. That, go check it out first, see what's going on, let us know. If you need us, we're there. SPTVFoundation.org or Aftermath Foundation. Public. Well, I will say this. Yeah, some books don't see the filter. Before I left Ohio, I wouldn't have worn shorts. But I remember standing and waiting on the bus in high school with my coat open, no scarf, no gloves, didn't feel it at all. Of course, I was only out there about 10 or 15 minutes. But I remember it not getting to me as much until after I left. The first time I went home at Christmas, Tom was overseas, so me and the kids drove up, and I got deathly ill. I mean, my tonsils were swelled up and infected. I had a huge fever. It was like 14 degrees outside. And it had been years after we left. Hey! Hey, Susie! How are you? How are you? So we're talking about the NFL halftime and how we have some people, non-Americans here. We're explaining to them how competitive high school football is in Texas and football in general. I mean, there are people that get. I've seen your football fans over there in Europe get, oh my gosh, out of hand. I'm like, they fight. They fight. Most of the time. And, you know, our football fans don't necessarily fight. And most of the time, it's a good-natured rivalry. Oh, my gosh, Hitzel. Y'all are nuts. I've barefoot in the North Sea this winter. It gets warmer if you stick it out. Yeah, eventually it will. Yeah. Well, that will make you understand what high school football is in Texas. I read a history about it in Texas, and back in like the early days, I'm talking 50s, 60s, 70s, it was so competitive here. We could care less about our NFL teams, but high school football, you're a god if you're on the football team here. I mean, it was very different growing up in Ohio up north. It was highly illegal, but alumni of those areas would pay families to move into their district so they could have better players. Huge, ridiculous players. But yeah, I get it. I get it. I've watched a lot of British and European TV and stuff, so I get it. I get it. But, okay, so sptvfoundation.org or Aftermath Foundation, it's the only thing I can get out quick, is those two things. Can't think of anything else to get out quick. Hurling is our local thing here. It's a fast-paced game using a stick and ball. I know what hurling is. I don't get it, but I've watched it. I mean, what's with the, is that the one where they do the side-to-side in front of the puck? There's curling and then there's something else. But, so, the reason I understand is, I'm going to tell you a story about my Ohio State Buckeyes. Back in the 70s, our coach was Woody Hayes. And Michigan hosts, I can never remember his name. He had a weird name, like Bear Bryant or something. I don't know if that's right. In Michigan. So, the Michigan State, or is it University of Michigan Wolverines and Ohio State Buckeyes they've had a rivalry since, the beginning of time. But Woody Hayes took it to the next level in a way I don't like. So he hated them so much, he would not allow the Buckeyes to stay in a hotel in Michigan, and our state's border. So he would stop at the state line and they would stay there. He would not get gas in Michigan. He would not give them his money. And so that created a real rivalry between fans too, that I didn't like. I'm not like that. And there was some other stuff too, man. That guy, wow. That was really bad. I remember, so he retired. He got in trouble. He punched a player in the face on the sidelines. He got retired. But later on in the 80s, I was in Navy Junior ROTC, and we did the color guards at the football games. At the beginning, where we brought out the flag and we sang, and then we marched off. So we did the color guard for Woody Hayes Day in Columbus at like a convention center, and I met him. That was it. I met him one time. They did soccer. Where's that at? What state? Just tell me what state. You don't have to tell me where. That's surprising. But yeah, that's why I said I couldn't understand how they could bring we lost the Browns in Ohio, because our Ohio State Buckeyes are so big in Ohio, and it's such a small state. The state is so small, y'all. I live kind of in the middle, and we would cut school my senior year, and we were trying to drive to all the states that bordered. We could literally go to Kentucky and back in less than the school day. So it's like 3 hours to every border. Canadian Football League. Okay. Oh, Massachusetts. Yeah, I can see it up there. You have the New England Patriots. So I think that's why. You kind of encompasses the whole area up there. It might be the population up there. Might not be able to. Plus, I don't think they play in the cold everywhere. Yeah, I know. In Illinois, yeah, for sure. That's the thing about down here, why I think we're so lonely. Because when you're up in a state like that, up north or the East Coast or even the West Coast, anybody to come here and hang out with us and protest, it's a long drive. I was amazed. I did not expect the turnout when they opened, the day they opened here. I did not. I was so shocked when I got here. It was awesome. But they did have, I think, a much bigger turnout when Chicago opened, because it was easy to come from different places. I mean, it takes like 4 or 5 hours just to get to the Gulf, and I'm in the middle. That's true. Florida, yeah. Because there's no way to go in but all the way down. Yeah, you get it. Oh, cool. Cool, Kelly. Insurance. That seems far-fetched. Could be a couple things. I think that's, like I said, I think that's why you guys have the New England Patriots and not a state. That way y'all can all rally around that one team. You know, some states just can't. And then they brought the Browns back, which surprised me. When the Browns left Ohio and then they came back. I was going to say something, I forgot what it was. I was mad when our Houston Oilers left. I tried to follow them where they moved to, but I haven't watched NFL really in years because I was a Cowboys fan when I lived in Ohio 35 years ago. And they just, for the amount of money that is pumped into that team, to have kind of plane we're getting is just, it's disappointing. I tried for years not to be a fair weather fan. I stuck it out for years. And finally I quit. I'm done. Sang at the Grey Cup. Oh, cool. You were on camera. That's cool. I like the 1986 beats. It went into my head again and out again. I hate my brain. Yeah, the only reason I got into the Chiefs because my daughter finally wanted to watch football. She's like, no, I understand it. It's great. I'm like, I could have showed you that stuff. Oh, Chicago Bears. Yeah. Oh, I need... My trigger points are wearing off. Oh, it's getting tight again. There is no way... Oh my god, there's another guy in front. Girl power. Oh! Saturday night, remind me. So, before this, I was involved in the Popcorn Planet community. You know, he has Nerd Report on and some other people, and we did some meetups. And the first one I went to was in Vegas, the first time I'd ever traveled by myself. Anyway, he did a new intro to his show. It was way back. It's a longer version. I don't think it's the everyday version. I'm in it. I'm famous. I'm like clear off at the end of this group thing. Yes. When I was in Atlanta, I was taken to an Atlanta basketball game, but that place, the seats, we were so high up in the nosebleed seats that if you stood up, I thought I was going to fall on top of the players, and the players were like ants. I knew you win. No, she just changed directions to not be on camera and ended up being on camera. But I'll show it to you. Yep. On Sundays, she's sometimes watching basketball while listening to me drone on with Dianetics. Got some music over here at the light. Now, the only reason to have your window down during this time is to make your music louder. I feel like a good beat. Like, I actually, years ago, I bought Eminem We were in Austin on our anniversary, and I went to Waterloo Records. And I didn't know this was way back, probably late 90s, early 2000s. I didn't know you could buy clean versions of CDs. So I was like, I found 2 CDs of Eminem that were clean versions. And I was like, oh, now. Because I was very, very much more careful back then when I was very into church. Oh, my blanket's on the ground. It's gonna have to get washed now. Oh my gosh. When I got the dog in the car after walking down these streets, I literally took baby wipes and sanitizer and wiped her paws off. But, yeah, it's all for show. I can't care less anymore. Yeah, the Cowboys, man. You know why I picked them when I was in Ohio one time? About 4th grade. I like their uniforms. I like the big silver star. But they were good, too. When the bigs really retired, the ones I remember, Deion Sanders, the Smith guy. Really, after that, it was like the end of an era. I don't know, I might watch more. Plus, I also haven't had live TV for years. I just got, I got Sling TV. I had the free version, and I went ahead and upgraded a little bit back in, I think, November. No, it was after that. I think it was to watch, it was for football. It was to watch the Michigan-Ohio State game. So, I was telling you guys about the rivalry between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the University of Michigan Wolverines. I mean, it's long and people hate. They hate. I don't. A lot of us don't, but some do. And here's the thing. The Ohio State Buckeyes could lose every game of the season, but if they beat Michigan, that's all anybody cares about. They're golden. But boy, they could be undefeated, go to a bowl game, but they lost that Michigan game. They might as well move. Oh, I know. Hitzel said she missed me by a few minutes. I should go ahead and call me next time, because now that I have the extra phone, I don't have to turn things off on this anymore. So go ahead and call me next time if you're on the way. I'll stick around for a few minutes. But I'm happy. When Hitzel texted me that, I said, well, that's okay, because at least we covered more hours that way. Tom Landry. Oh, neat. Neato. I tried to start watching the Green Bay Packers. I was trying to find a new team when I was watching. It's not, because I like Aftermath Foundation, SPTV Foundation. So I get distracted. Oh, Green Bay Packers. Because of how they're owned. They don't have an owner. It's a group. It's like regular people form I don't know what they call it. I forget. Like a co-op, and they're owned that way. So it's not just some rich dude. I know. Yeah. Every time I say Christmas or Valentine's or Easter, I'm gonna go the next day and get that discounted candy, I always don't make it. Oh, the Packers, yeah. It's not, I still like them. They're still, if I were watching, I'd be rooting for them. I just honestly, because I didn't have live TV, I just really got out of it. But now that I have it again, maybe I really want to start watching this new league that I just found out about. One of the commercials said, don't worry, football will be back in 7 weeks, whatever. So I looked it up. And they started a new league last year. They've had 1 season. And I'm interested. That might be fun. I might check that out now that I have live TV. Because I have DVR function too, so I can record it. Matter of fact, don't tell me, but I think I heard who won. I still have the Ohio State Michigan game recorded. I still haven't watched it. When I get home, I'm like, I only have so many hours in a day. I'm usually watching YouTube. or news. Ooh, sorry, guys. Oh, neat. Yeah, so I had planned to be here way early. I woke up, so I finally went to sleep before 5 a.m. at like 2:30, and I set my alarm for like 9:30. I woke up at 8:30 and just couldn't get moving. And on the way here, I started to get tired, even though I was drinking my cold brew coffee. Like, man, that's what happens when I get up early. I'm already tired by 1 or 2 o'clock. Yeesh. So I'm sitting here, so I'm not moving around and getting my blood. I need to get my blood pumping. Yeah, that's what ends up happening is, so I'm on a good schedule. I wake up early, and then you know what ends up happening? I get tired and I have to take a nap. It ruins it all. I don't mind that going to bed late in the morning, but the problem is if you wake up late and you're up late, even though you're awake, you don't really want to get into any projects or anything when it's nighttime outside. That's the problem. Oh, you fell asleep after 8. I did that yesterday. I was waiting for Tom to come home at 7. And I'm like, well, I'll just wait till he gets home. Then I realized it's 8:30, and I look. He had pulled over, because if he's too tired to drive when he gets off, he pulls over, because he has an hour drive home. So he didn't get home till late. It was probably 8:39 a.m. before I went to sleep yesterday. But I only slept a few hours. Oh, yeah. I know, me too. So it limits me in stuff I can get done. So. Woo. See? Sorry, guys. And I do have my bottle of coffee with me. I might have to hit that. Because I make a cold brew and put it in a empty water bottle in the cooler to put in my cup on the way home. Hey, MD Media. Oh, thank you. You too. I commented on a short you had. You were at looked like one of those little box libraries, and you were putting some because it was vertical, it cut some of the things off you had, but you looked like you had some flyers you were sticking in there. I was like, that's a good idea, thinking outside the box. At 2 in the afternoon and wake me up. Yeah. Oh, I just turned my ringer down. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Matter of fact, I've got to remember to stop at the pharmacy on the way home. I prepay for my prescription, so I don't have to finagle with the card and everything at the window. Because our pharmacy at our store has an app, which I love. I cannot figure out how to get my husband on it. Because you can look at all of your prescriptions, what you've had, when you filled it. It's the only way I can keep track. Yeah, so he was out there putting flyers. Hey, Keith. So I'm like, I'm trying to, now that I've been doing this a year, my 1-year anniversary is coming up. I'm really trying to think how I can think outside the box. What can I start doing? I really need to get off my butt and go back to the suburbs and do that and make sure I'm catching the flyers. And I really need to work at getting to the Capitol building, because it's not very far from here. Matter of fact, the Capitol building is closer to my house than this place. I really need to go in there and make sure they're in session and go to I could go to all the offices. They don't have to be my district. They're all in there. It'd It'd be like going to the Capitol building in DC. I think they all have an office in there. So I really want to type up a really good explanation of Scientology that I could leave with them. That's brief, but gives them information and links to survivor videos that I have watched and that has moved me, you know. Places that they can get more, you know, spdv.space, of course. But just certain videos that might be interesting to them, maybe they could look at. Because I don't know if that I would get any time with them, really. But I want to have something written out. And I want to have the same thing here. I want to have, like, a printout that I type up. Now that I got my new keyboard, I can do that. Like the Delphi Academy story. And I need to get more information on that daycare. And, you know, other stories. You know, just as brief, you know, examples. You know, and with maybe a link to the video. Like the conversation with Lauren, her dad. You know, that was very powerful, and I use it a lot. I'm not really your dad. You're not really my daughter. I don't understand why you're upset. We don't have an Oregon, Oklahoma, so I'm struggling getting people here to care. Really infuriates me. Yeah, I know. And it's not even just that. You have it harder, but even like here. I mean, people look at this building and they're wondering why should they care. Plus, they safe point people in the government. I'm not happy about Pat Bondi being AG, but this is what I said to my husband, though. People are, you know, worried that Pat Bondi is going to be pro-Scientology. Well, when I heard what they did for her, I'm not that worried. This is why. Years ago, some top Scientologists or rich Scientologists put on a fundraiser for her and donated to her campaign for the Florida, she was Florida AG. Okay. Well, she's in federal now. She doesn't owe those people anything anymore. She might have when she was in Florida, but now that she's federal, if all they did was donate to her campaign, then in reality, she doesn't owe them anything, and she has to do what the president wants her to do. But then I don't know what Trump's never come out and said anything as far as I know about Scientology. He's lived a long time in Florida. I'd really like to know his thoughts on it, and I haven't seen anything. If anybody knows, or there's an interview or an article, I'd love to know. So here's my thing. Were we really going to get that high up in the next 4 years? Probably not. But now that they're having the faith office in the White House, he's starting a faith office, my first thought was, well, this might be somebody we could contact. We could inundate that office with letters. I won't even say emails, because if you got 1,000 letters in the mail in the same week, you might listen. And I would think, as I get what they're for, they're there to help, you know, faith, religious freedom. They'll be like, well, you know, they should get their religious freedom because they're a church. But if they heard about all the scummy stuff they do, I mean, somebody had to finally decide to investigate the Catholic Church. Or there had to be, you know, articles and this is where we still need to get with journalists. But at least if they make this faith office, we have a target. We have somebody there that deals with churches. And if we inundate them with letters, if we can get survivors of the cult to write letters, give the links to their videos, and they look at their story, we might get somebody that's like, hey, we're legitimate churches. These people, what the hell are they doing? Because I know with the faith-based office, they're going to cover everything, not just Christians, but they should be covering the Wiccan and, you know, everything. But you can't be harming people. That's the thing. I don't even care if they protect Satan worshipers, as long as they're not hurting people. Hey, Danny. So, yeah, Danny, you've got a lot of people that follow your channel. We need to talk about this. So, they're starting a faith office in the White House. And now, instead of trying to send letters to the AG or the president or somebody that'll take notice, maybe we can all coordinate in the same week and get everybody we can get a hold of to send a letter that week. I don't want to do email, I want to do letters. Because if you get a butt ton of letters about the same thing in the same week, if we could get 2,000 or 3,000 people to write letters, I don't know if we have that many people, I hope we do. It might be the impetus to get somebody to start investigating this place. Because look how long and hard it took to get the Catholic Church looked at, and they finally did. And it took a long time. I don't want it to take that long. Of course, Catholic Church has been around since what? A couple thousand years or whatever. So, I mean, that's a little different. So, that's something. As soon as I heard about that, I was like, well, at least now we have a target. I mean, going to our congresspeople is good and all, but that's one congressperson with all these other congresspeople. If we can get our message to this person that's going to oversee religious freedom. I mean, I know they may say, oh, well, you know, they get religious freedom too, they're a church, blah, blah, blah. But they find out all the abuses and what they're doing to people and the human trafficking and the taking of passports and, you know, all of this stuff that they've done to people. We might get somewhere sooner than we thought. That's all I'm saying. So start talking to people about that if you guys could. You guys are on other channels too. You know, when they finally make that office and have somebody and we have an address, I really want to talk about it. I really want the bigger channels to talk about it. I want us to get, because everybody's like, we're doing all these things on our own and we have small groups, but we've got to do something big. Somebody was saying we need to have a big protest with a lot of people. It draws attention. It would. We've got to start thinking bigger. Oh, whoops. Oh, I'm behind. Sorry, guys. Stop moving on me again. Okay, Danny, okay. Hey, Eric. You too. Did you hear what I said? Oh, I'll have to watch that, Eric. The Catholic Church story was largely broken by journalists. We need an open-minded journalist. We do. And you know what the story should be? It's not what I'm trying to get out there is, has there ever been 200 channels on YouTube that are all working for the same goal? Yes, there are groups of channels that all kind of do the same thing and kind of collab and stuff, like the Law Tubes and True Crime and all kinds of things. But have you ever had this many channels for the same goal, going after the same exact thing? That's the story. For over 23 years, and unless you live in the Clearwater area and maybe a tiny bit in Tampa, you don't hear anything about Scientology, I promise, and have lived all over the state. So Trump may not know anything. He may have Scientologists that he's dealt with in business or donated his campaign. He doesn't probably even know. So that's my thought process. Coming up on my year anniversary, I'm trying to figure out what can we do to kickstart this again, to get this a little bigger, to get it more widely seen or noticed. And the faith office in the White House is going to be huge. If we can inundate them with massive amounts of letters, even every week. Let's say we do a couple of form letters. I don't want to do the same exact one all the time. Let's say we have 10 that somebody can download and sign. And let's say we send every week, we send a batch for, say, 4 weeks. So for 4 weeks, they get bags of these letters. They're going to take notice. with links to survivor channels in their stories, you know, with links to the few articles we have out there, like about the property scam and the money making that they're doing, you know, because nobody's seen it all in one place. You get a story over here and a story over here, if you get one at all. I am simply tired of people saying they're anti-Scientology when all they do is attack protesters and survivors. Yeah, I don't get that either. People in Wicca can't harm a living soul. Yeah, that is against the rules of Wicca. Yes. That's why I said they'll all be encompassed by that faith office. It's not just going to be just Christians. As long as you're not harming people, great. They're not. I know they're not. Neither do I. I'm not sure about Satanists. Most of them, not so much, but I think there's been a weird... Back in the past, I don't even know what's going on now. And, like, we had friends in California that were Druid. We watched their wedding on video. It was so cool. So I'm open to all that stuff. Because I've always said, if you've ever heard me when people ask me why I'm here, I said, I'm here because of the child abuse. I said, I don't care what other religions do. I don't care what their belief system is. You know... It does, and I whenever I get somebody that says, "Are you a Christian?" and I say yes, and they go, "You're doing the Lord's work," I go, "That's not why I'm here." That is, I did not get the impetus, if that's the right word. I've never really used that word very much. I didn't get the drive to come here because I'm like, oh, I'm a Christian. I've got to go take these people down. It had nothing to do with that. It was being a human being and seeing the dehumanizing of the people in Scientology and the abuse. And so I usually cut that kind of talk off when I'm doing this because I'm like, that's not what I'm here for. Trump only knows about the Signos because of the big donors who are Signos. So, you know, he looks like maybe if he were to get all of this information through the faith office, he might be willing to do something. We don't know. We don't know unless we try. Right? Yeah. I just don't watch them. Now, I'm going to be honest, though, because I've told you guys before, I have never unsubbed from anybody because I didn't want to take sides, and I still don't. Mainly for the biggest reason that I don't have time to go investigate all the ins and outs of things that are happening between other people. I just don't have that kind of time. There's too many streams, too many hours, just can't. But there are a couple people on the peripheral and one or two people recently that I did unsub from. Just because I'm like, I was waiting to see if they were going to get back to the Scientology content that I like to watch, to learn from, and it just kind of wasn't. Or they're a peripheral channel that kind of like was encompassed into the group. They're not really Scientologists themselves. They just kind of, I subbed to them because they were kind of helping the movement a little bit. A few of them I unsubbed from. Yeah, it's about being a good human, not because of my Christianity either. Yes, Susie. I love your ability to hope. Well, here's the thing. I knew starting this, it wasn't going to be overnight. I've watched other movements. I watched just how long it took from the journalists breaking what was going on in the Catholic Church to when the government took their time getting involved. I knew it was going to take time. And that's why I won't quit. Because if I quit, then it'll never get seen. If we quit, it'll never go anywhere. But if we keep going, and we keep doing our small part, I mean, all of us are just small. We have our small little channels. We have our small little area, you know. But they all encompass a bigger thing, a bigger movement. And that's another reason why I didn't like people saying, oh, SPTV is ending. Look, just because somebody you don't like took that name for something, don't, and I said this in my little video, I said, those of us, like me, I've never put the logo on my channel. I didn't feel big enough. But when you name something, it gives you something to rally around. That's what it was. It gave you, and I think that's why, I was there the day it was created and saw it kind of blow up, and people started coming in, and more survivors were creating channels, and it gave us a cohesiveness that we needed, and we still do. Just because other people aren't. Why is my daughter calling me? I forgot to put do not disturb on that phone because nobody calls me on it, but she's calling me on Messenger. Yes. She's laughing. Oh, you're on my earbud. Hold on.
I like your song.
Thank you. Alright. You there?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have do not disturb on the other phone that I'm filming on because nobody calls me on it, but I didn't think about Messenger.
You know what's funny is like when you answered, I'm looking at my weather and your weather, and it just like it goes together. Like it's super rainy and cold right now.
Really?
But
She's in Southern California.
Remember, we're nowhere near each other.
Yeah, we're nowhere near each other, but she's saying the weather is like similar. Like she's raining cold. Eric's on here. He's in LA. Is it raining cold there too?
Yeah, look at.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it looks just like here. It's overcast and yucky. Yeah. I'm sitting here in my chair with my blankie.
I got all the windows open, and my little heater that's built into my wall, I covered that with bookshelf. I can just.
Yeah, it must be not. Yeah, when I lived in California, I never used the heater or the AC. Because I lived up near Monterey where...
I got the windows open, I put the kids' socks up.
I'll tell you what she said in a minute. What do you need?
I was calling to say hi. Oh, I was calling to laugh at you because I went to make a Walmart order, and what do I see in the cart? A freaking 3D printer. Like,
I told you, so when I'm playing this one game, I get Walmart ads. Alright, I gotta go. We were having a very important conversation. Bye. She called to laugh at me. I'll tell you about that in a second. Oh. Yeah, what Kelly said. Yep. Snowing. Drizzling. Okay, Susie, thank you. Okay, so I'll tell you about what she said in a minute. But I literally think about this every day. I'm like, it's my 1 year anniversary. What can we do? What can we do to make this bigger? I'm willing to travel. I'm willing to get a cheap, as long as if we can maybe create some big meetups, at a couple of big places, I don't care. The best place is we want to pick somewhere like that has a nice big sidewalk area or a place where we can be. I don't know if I even want to do LA because of the LAPD. But, and like the meetups with Popcorn Planet, because we had weeks, that's what I want, y'all. Notice, we had people coming from other countries to this meetup in Vegas because they had notice and we could get the cheaper tickets. I got a cheap Frontier $200 round trip ticket. That's the only and I had to pack everything I owned into I couldn't even have a carry-on. A personal bag. Boy, I learned to roll my clothes. So anyway, that was my first thought, was we need to have 2 or 3 really big rallies. I don't know if I'd even call them protests, but rally, protest, whatever, somewhere where we could get some journalists to take pictures. Like Anonymous used to do, like we did with they opened out here. And, they've done some big ones too. I've seen, other places. I just didn't have enough notice to really be able to go. But then when I saw a couple days ago about this faith office in the White House, I was like, man, now we have somewhere centrally located that we can send letters to and get their attention. Instead of just our individual congresspeople. A press release to the media in advance would be good. Yes. And we need to make sure, we know their tactics, so we need to make sure they can't work their tactics on us too. So anyway, I just been really thinking about it because I feel myself. It's been a year. I feel I'm in a rut, in a way. I need to do something different. I've really been racking my brain. Oh, I'm starting to get a little stressed. Oh, okay. Oh, I gotta get those gloves that you can open the finger. But yeah, definitely. But we know they'll start their tactics. So, you know what? I don't even care if wherever we go, they shut down the road out front. Don't even care. They did that when, over here. And they did that in Chicago. And guess what? We all just hung out at the end of the road. It's still going to draw people's attention. I don't care if we're right out front or not. I don't care if we have to be a block away. Don't care. They can't close down the whole city. We'll get as close as humanly possible. Okay, Eric. Bye. Anyway, that's just what I've been thinking. Because I've gone, we've had our little people travel, and get together and stuff. And we did the openings. Those were big. I want to do something like those. Like the openings. I'd have that many people show up. Like, plan it a couple months in advance so people can get there. I'd say here because we have a big sidewalk, but we're so far from everything, I would feel bad about making people drive. So obviously, like, somewhere up north or East Coast or something. Florida now, or more than one. I like Florida. I like Clearwater just because they have that huge area down there that we could all stand in. And, somebody would come write an article if 100 people was there, or 50 people, or however many we could get. I would go. Summer's coming. We can start talking now. Now, something that we did when we did the meetups is we created a special channel on Telegram for just the people that were going. So we would have somewhere to talk to each other and plan things, which worked out because everybody kept saying, well, I'm getting in a couple days before the meetup. We should all do something. And nobody would decide on anything. Me being me, y'all have heard me say this before. I was like, I said, well, I'm going to be there this day. I looked around the area, not on the Strip. I never went to the Strip for nothing in Vegas. I found a great place for brunch that was fairly inexpensive. And I said, I got off the plane, got the rental car, went to Walmart, and then went to the meetup. I said, this time we're doing a brunch, be there or not. So I had no idea who was going to show up. Literally, we ended up having to put tables together, and we had so we had people come in. We were there a couple hours. We had people come in for a while and leave, then come in, leave. I think total, we probably had a good 20, 25 people show up. I think 20 at least. Yeah. Because there was about 14, 15 seats. So, anyway. So, I think, if we just keep talking about this, I may end up just doing that and planning it myself. And just saying, all right, on this day, we're doing this, at this time, in a couple months, show up or not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to plan it for midsummer, depending on where it's at. But this is February, March, April. If we could plan something for May, when it's still fairly cool, most places, not here. That might be something we can do. But I definitely want to really I'm going to plan the letter writing campaign. As soon as we get an address, I'm just going to plan it. I'm going to plan the week. And then I'm going to contact all the channels and tell them, could you announce this? I'll make 3 or 4 different form letters, because I don't think we could get everything we wanted to say in one letter. So we have different form letters that people can download and sign. I don't want to do email because those are easy to ignore, I think. We could do both, I guess. We could do a letter writing campaign one time. We could do an email campaign another time. But I think if they got like 1,000, 2,000 letters in a week, it would make a difference. Because I've seen this with the tax stuff, and you know, people have said, okay, here's the letter, you know, could you do this? And people are just kind of doing it whenever they get to it. I think if we would have done that more cohesively as a group in a short window of time, I think it would have got a lot more attention. Because if we do it the way I want, they're gonna the postal carrier is gonna have to bring in those totes full of letters. Totes full of letters start showing up, they're gonna pay attention. And we could maybe do the same thing with newspapers and media. We could do the same kind of letter writing campaign to media, like one or maybe find a journalist that we think might write about it. Hey Brian. Yes, it's a little bit cold here. I think it was in the 40s when I got here, and it was supposed to go up. Let's see. Let's see. It's 53, feels like 47. Oh. So it's still in the 40s. That's okay. It's just the breeze is bugging me. I got my blanket. I'm good. So anyway, I'm going to quit on this subject. I've said it too much. So. But I'll see what I can do. I'm going to keep an eye on it. See if we can get an address. I'm going to type up the letters. And then we'll see where we can go from there. We gotta be able to we gotta do something. We gotta break outside of this bubble that we're in. We're not getting enough outside attention. You know? And we have all these true crime channels. Even Popcorn Planet had Aaron on. So, when the Danny Masterson stuff was going on, so he'd probably even announce it. He knows who I am. I'm sure I could get him to announce it. Or maybe Aaron could talk to him. Well, Lewis from Nerd Report, he knows me. So we have a lot of outside channels that might announce it too. We might get people that don't even watch our protest channels that might get involved. That would be awesome. Because last time I watched Popcorn Planet, he had 7,000 people watching his live stream. That would be amazing. If he could just give a little blurb out that we're going to do this letter writing campaign to the faith office at the White House over Scientology's abuses. That's all he got to say. I mean, it doesn't hurt. That's the way I've always been my whole life. I'm like, I would rather try and it not work than not try at all. Like, I used to be, like, even in high school, if I liked somebody, I went and told them. I didn't wait for them to ask me out. Because, you know what? I was like, the worst thing they can say is no. That's been my motto forever. Worst thing they can say is no. Not gonna hurt my feelings. So. Whew. Let's see, what time is it? 4:30. See, I was either going to get here at 2:30 and leave at 4:30 and miss the 5 o'clock traffic. But I ended up hitting an accident on the way in, I think. Something was going on. I got slowed. So now it's either leave now, which I don't feel like it, or, so, you know, I like to be here at 5 when the crowds come by, and then leave after that. Or, you guys should see the traffic when class is let out. Between 5:30 and 6:30. Ooh. I'm debating whether I should go soon in the next 15 minutes and get out of here. Because it's not just traffic. Oh my gosh, you guys. These kids do not know how to cross streets. And see, they're all walking back there where I park. And the last time I was here, I got the attitude. So I'm at the intersection, and they don't care. When I hit an intersection, if a car is just stopping, I let them go. It is easier for me to stop for 2 seconds and let them go than to make them wait for my butt to cross all the way over. Well, they don't do that. Not only do they not do that, but they think they're in Tokyo, and you're at the intersection, and they start going diagonally from corner to corner. And I'm like, so I went, and I'm literally, they're coming this way, and I'm passing, and I'm like, they were a couple feet away from me. I was careful. And I just gave her a dirty look. I'm like, not a dirty look, that's all. I just stared at her like, yeah, you're not in the crosswalk. It's not. And I'll tell you, if they'd have said anything, I'd have stopped and told them the story. I know a guy that hit somebody. I don't know him. I saw the story in the area I lived in. Who, during PT in the morning with the soldiers, you have to be hugely careful. They're everywhere. Anyway, he hit a soldier that was crossing the street and crushed his legs. And the soldiers sued him. He countersued and won because he wasn't in the crosswalk. Because he just crossed wherever he felt like it, and he didn't see him because it's usually dark at that time when it starts. So, yeah. I'm like, maybe you need to stay in the crosswalk. I mean, you don't know if somebody's messing with their radio, if they're going to see you or not. I've always been super careful around cars. There's a movie from the 70s called Car. I don't think it was The Car, I think it was Car. That I saw when I was young that made me deathly afraid to just cross somebody's driveway on the sidewalk. Because in the movie, it's a neighborhood, and this car drives up and flies into somebody's house. And so after that, I've been so careful. I don't trust drivers. I don't. Always use the crosswalk unless there is one. Oh, and you know what's funny? Yeah. Oh, I'm my head's on a swivel even with my messed up neck. No, I just saw today on a short. I might, if you guys are interested, I'll put it on my community tab when I get home. So there was a place, I think it was England, but I'm not sure, I couldn't tell, where they would cross wherever. And so they put up this booth with a screen where you could stand in front of it and it would show your skeleton. And if you danced, it did what you were doing. And you're having a good time, and then this car comes out of nowhere and mows you both down. And they're like, holy crap. And they're like, be careful, use the crosswalks. And they're like, that's how they're getting it. Did you see what happened? Yeah, I did. The whole thing with Scientology and LAPD is spinning up. Well, I just saw the swatting again. I don't know if there was anything after that. I almost got hit when I was 9 at Fort Benning. Yeah. I think it was at that moment when I entered the Matrix. Wow, yeah. Well, I did get hit on my bike. I bounced off a pickup truck. It was kind of my fault, but I didn't know how to work it. So I'm on a country road with Tom in high school on our bikes. And we hear a car coming. Well, I didn't have time to get over, so I went this way to get on the other side of the road so they could just come up between us. Well, he had already got over in that lane to go around us. And so I'm coming over this way, and I went boom right off the side of this pickup. The Custom 500, my elbow broke that off. I didn't get hurt. It was fine. But they ended up in the ditch. It scared the crap out of me. And they called an ambulance to check me out. And I'm like, I'm far from home. We was on a long trip. So I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I can go now. We finished our trip, got home, and my mom's like, so, how was your trip? Well, I guess they called me. You are still in the Matrix. I know. Some days. That's close, Brian. That's close. Actually, I almost died too. So I was at my best friend's house. Hi. And I used to wear headbands all the time. And this 2x4 was leaning up against the house. It was really tall. It leaned all the way to the roof line and had 2 nails in it. Like the wind or whatever hit it and it fell over, and the 2 nails hit me in the top of the head. If I hadn't had that headband, plastic headband, it broke it in half. If I hadn't had that headband on, I'd be dead. That is close. If you had marks on your shoe, you're lucky you didn't have a broken foot. Hey D, the things we went through when we were young. How did we make it to today? I don't know. I don't know. Have no idea. We have done some crazy crap. I remember my stepbrothers, they visited on weekends. And we got BB guns for Christmas. And we had a BB gun fight. And we had bow and arrows. I grew up in the country. And my friend made me mad. And I shot I was like 9. And I shot, these were target arrows. They didn't have the blade. Still, it would do damage. And I shot it at her, and it went right by her ear, and we were all like, yeah, I got the belt for that. Yeah, I was in trouble. Yeah, the main thing is live to tell the tale. Yes. There's an I befriended last summer. Oh, no. No. That's too bad. Yeah. The homeless person that I helped in 2019 to 2020, what it was, he was the neighborhood guy. He always sat at the neighborhood gas station with his 2 dogs. So everybody knew who he was. And he got cancer. And so I was helping him with that. Sometimes I took him to appointments, but mostly he would take the bus. But to take the bus, I had to watch, all he needed was somebody to babysit the dogs. So I did that a lot. And, well, they literally, so he went in for surgery. They removed his whole lower jaw, most of his tongue, and rebuilt it from metal and a bone from his leg. That was July 2019. So somebody gave him a place to stay after that. So I didn't really hear from him much. A little bit. If he had an appointment, he needed me to watch the dogs, I would hear from him. But he wasn't doing well. I knew he wasn't doing well. They didn't get rid of it. And when the last time I saw him, he had a tumor in the side of his head right here. And he wasn't doing well. So then he calls me in June 2020. This was COVID. And he's like, they called me the ambulance. I need you to come get my dog so they don't send him to the pound. And I was like, why would they send him to the pound for a couple days, you know? I think he knew he wasn't coming back. I didn't. So I went and got him. And 3 weeks go by. And I knew, because I had taken them to visit him in the hospital before, but it's COVID. I knew there was no visitors. So 3 weeks go by, and I'm like, I haven't heard anything. So I went on his Facebook, and all I saw was RIP. I was like, he had died that very night that I went and got the dogs. I was like, oh my goodness. Well, I couldn't, they weren't housebroken because they were homeless dogs, and I wasn't doing well that year. So I called rescue to come get them. I couldn't do it. Yeah, I did that too, Kelly. Oh, wow. Yeah, like when the night before his surgery, I had him stay at the house because we had to be there at like 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning or something. And then when he got out, when I went and got him, and we let him stay on the air mattress that night. But I was like, yeah, I probably should. Minnesota goodbyes. I missed something back here. There we go. I missed that. What Brian said. Considering what reality we live in now, there's a good argument for it. Hey, Mark. I am. I'm doing all right. Like I said, I can't complain when I got people from Canada in here. I'm in Texas. Oh, wow. You know, this guy, Anthony, he had beat stomach cancer before, and he was a vet. So he was going to the VA for some appointments and to the hospital in another town. They were near each other. But, yeah, I know. Yeah. What time is it? You know what? I'm going to go. I'm not going to worry. I don't think that many people's going to be stopping or coming through that intersection. And I honestly don't want to I dealt with the traffic on the way here. Normally on the way here, it's great. So I don't mind the traffic on the way home. But I think I'm going to go today before 5. Get on the road. Hopefully I can get back to the car before 5. Because boy, if I don't want to hit traffic. Sometimes it's taking me 20 minutes just to get to the freeway, when it normally would take less than 5. Yeah. Yeah, for real. Yeah, I forgot to bring hot coffee today. Didn't even, I was getting stuff ready. I didn't really realize how cold it was outside. I hadn't been outside. And then when I went out to load the car, I was like, holy crap. Let me see how fast I can get packed up. Alrighty. Ugh. Hey, Mr. Fraud. Yeah. Thanks, you guys. I usually call Tom when I get down the street, and he stays with me while I'm packing up the car. That's the only time I feel vulnerable, is when I'm putting things in the car and I have my back to the parking garage or wherever I'm parked. Ooh. I use this thing. I don't want you guys to look at my rear end. I cannot get this thing to close. Oh, I did it before.
I had a...
Pull up to lock, push down to... Oh! I was doing it the wrong direction. I had to read the instructions. Okay. Alrighty then. There we go. Alrighty. I'm done now. Alright, bye y'all, and what's today, Wednesday? We'll see if I can make it out again. If not, come say hi on Saturday. Love y'all, bye.